So please write a word that represents a struggle or an obstacle that you've dealt with or want to overcome.
Or continue to want to
Or,
overcome.
yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think of the correct thing. Not correct, but I'm trying to think of like the... How's that?
Perfect. I'll take the chalk. Take the chalk from ya.
Okay, cool.
You're so cute.
Thank you.
I'm obsessed with your eye makeup, by the way. I've been
Thank you.
staring at it the entire time you were talking.
Oh, thank you.
I was like,
I'm a
I
big
love that
makeup
color.
addict.
I love
This is
it.
the Naked Heat palette.
From what?
Naked.
Oh, naked. Got it.
It's my
I'm not a
favorite
makeup
palette
person. I know nothing. I wish I could do
Just
that
hold
to
this
my
up?
eyes. Yeah, I'm going to have you scoot over a teensy bit. Yeah, perfect. Get some snaps. Love it. Perfect.
Great.
I want to take a few without you holding this too.
Okay, cool.
Just for the... Sit back. Yeah. Put one arm up like on the, yeah. Cute. Super cute. Perfect.
Awesome.
Love
The
it.
lighting in here is like incredible. Okay.
Aw.
So you can you tell us why you wrote self-doubt?
As far as ongoing things that I deal with,
That's okay.
like the amount of self-doubt that I go through on a daily basis is pretty staggering. Like the OCD stuff is better and manageable, and the anxiety stuff is better and manageable, but like I feel like there's just this thing where I have to be constantly working or I just feel really worthless, and I hate that my self-esteem hinges on such tenuous things.
Yeah.
And I really just wish I felt more secure in myself. And I just feel like I'm constantly second guessing myself. And it is getting better, but it's definitely something that I wish was a little less tenuous all the time. But yeah.
Yeah. Cause you're saying it's getting better, so what have been some steps that you take to like remind yourself that like to trust your gut or to trust your instinct, and that like you don't have to constantly doubt yourself because you're smart and talented.
Right. Well, I feel like I end up making a lot of lists of things where I'm like, I make a lot of lists of like things I've done that I'm proud of, or decisions I've made that I'm proud of, or things like that. But also I think just trying to remind myself that if I just didn't do anything significant for like a year, I'd be okay too.
Yeah.
And I think I have this thing of like, unless I have like a big accomplishment every day,
Mm-hmm.
I really struggle. I just really like don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want my self-worth to be contingent on concrete things that I've done. I want to be able to just feel like I'm good enough just being a person being in the world, which is hard enough.
Yeah.
And I just don't have that feeling right now.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think I always had this idea that like there will be some deadline or some accomplishment I will have that will then make me feel okay all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not the case.
Yeah.
Like, I always thought if I had a steady job, I would feel
Mm-hmm.
good all the time. I have that, and I'm still insecure. And
Yeah.
I thought if I, you know, had a stable boyfriend, like, then I will feel secure. But it's
Yeah.
no external thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It has to come from within you, and I think that's just something I'm really struggling with.
Yeah, I think
And,
most
yeah.
people struggle
Yeah.
with that too. Like, it's definitely like, and I think one of the people yesterday said that, or she was talking about her talents, and she was like, well, it was her actually, but she started to say, I'm a great teacher, or I'm a good teacher, and then took it away from herself.
Right.
And I was like, I think it's interesting that we take our accomplishments away from ourselves, and I wonder if it's kind of like, I don't know if it's women because we strive to be like, it's like we have to have these major accomplishments for it to mean anything, instead of just like getting through the day. Like you said, that's hard enough.
Yeah.
Like, just living, we should be happy with ourselves.
Yeah.
And especially like in your industry, I would assume it's very male dominated.
Yeah, it is.
So I would think like just the fact that you were able to break in and like be able to write this yourself and create, like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's like when you're living it, you
yeah,
lose
it's a different
track of
thing.
it.
Yeah.
When you're living it, you're like, well, if I could do it, then it must be easy, and like,
Yeah.
like you're just that like self
Yeah.
deprecation that I think is bred into women, especially, and I
Yeah.
think that's something that I definitely have a tough time with.
Yeah.
But my big hope is that it can get better without it having to be tied into accomplishments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just like be more of like, okay, like I am allowed to fail. I'm allowed to do something that isn't perfect.
Yeah.
And that's tough for me. And I think it's also like I feel like I compare myself to the versions of people that they present online.
Yeah.
And I know that's not how anybody is. I think everybody's got a lot of insecurity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also like a major theme of like what's shifting society and like increasing depression and anxiety in people. It's just like our constant comparison to other people's lives and like,
Well, not even to their lives, but to their
their
thing they want to
careers,
show
their
you.
yeah. Like, I mean, I moved here to become a celebrity stylist, and I actually, like a month ago, saw a girl who interned for me. I see what she's doing now, and I like had a nervous breakdown. I was like, this is humiliating. Like, she was below me, and now she's like literally styling like the top elite models in the industry, and like, that should have been me. And then I was like, but that's not what I really want to be doing. Why am I like sitting here getting upset about this? I left the industry because I was grossed out by being around skinny women that complain all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's like keeping yourself in check is difficult.
Yeah. And then also just to be like, if it's for me, it'll be for me. And,
Exactly.
Like, kind of
Yeah.
surrendering yourself to the universe
Yeah.
that way
Yeah.
is very tough.
Yeah. And kind of trusting your passion. Because I
Yeah.
think if it's what you're meant to be doing, then
Yeah.
it'll
I
come
agree.
with ease.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I think so too. If you knock on doors and they don't open, then
Yeah.
you're meant to get through them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's hard. It's easier to believe that than it is to like apply to
Yeah,
yourself.
of course. I'll
Yeah.
be like,
I mean, I was sitting here when you were talking about self-doubting and thinking about, like, why would she feel like she's doubting herself? Like, I think it's incredible that you have your own nonprofit, that you created your own show and are talking about this stuff. But then it's like, she should be happy to be like, just be living. And then I was like, well, I hate myself.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
It's just trying to have like more gratitude and
Yeah.
and kind of shift my own thinking is sort of a theme of my life right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think also living in LA is a really weird skewed, and maybe New York too. I can't really speak on that as much, but like we're surrounded by a lot of young wealth and a lot of young like talent that has like exceeded like most people in this country at
Right.
very young ages. So I think it's like this comparison to like all of these celebrities and like people that come from money. It's like you have to remember that most people don't get that.
Yeah.
Like, and it takes
Yeah, you
time
got-
to get to that.
You've got
Like,
to feel really grateful for like
Yeah.
being where you are, and I think stepping out of the industry is probably helpful too, because otherwise you're always gonna be like, well,
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Not as successful as like this one other person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can consume you. But perfect. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.